Well, hello on this breezy evening, afternoon, or morning, depending on where you are in the world. Today we're going to be doing some checks on EdBot. And as always, this is being rebroadcast on our main channel, 2_MK, with the full permission of channel streamer Amara 2MK. So to give a little background on the work I was doing to create EdBot, the character is relatively simple in terms of what he can output, and therefore it came down to figuring out what was important to learn about his matchup and where to time his stuff so that he would be at least visible as a real challenge and look more or less like an Ed that you actually have to be able to deal with. He doesn't have as much spacing, but few bots do. The important points we considered were the zoning ability he has, which you can see if you look at option 1. And within option 1, when he's not zoning, I figured, well, if he's not zoning, he's probably been hit or the opponent is closing in on him. So in there I put a V skill and Psycho Rising, just in case he was on the ground at the time or facing some other knockback situation. Then of course we needed something to let him do follow-ups out of Psycho Rising, which became the obvious next thought. And he does have to do his ES Psycho Upper at some point, so that was what Action 2 turned out to be. It seems that when you input him, he's going to need Psycho Flicker at some point, but I don't really want him doing it too often, and it'd be better if he did it off of, say, a combo motion. So what he got in the end was crouching heavy punch and the Psycho Flicker input following the ES Psycho Upper, so that if for whatever reason he doesn't have the Psycho Upper, he doesn't end up standing there. Therefore, he has Psycho Flicker for when he's under pressure or with slight alterations to his inputs. This isn't very lenient. We tried testing it, as you possibly saw on yesterday's stream, but he doesn't do that well if he can't actually do Psycho Flicker, because it will stop you from being able to really understand what is important about the bot's point system. He becomes a little bit too easy to get points on if you can't do it. Action 3 was similarly easy to work out, even though already we should consider that we basically covered all of his moves. The next thought was, well, we definitely haven't covered one move, and that is his Psycho Knuckle itself. Psycho Knuckle is a charge of heavy punch. It basically just comes out, and he can do stuff after it like that, but it's very difficult to time exactly where he should do that because of the amount of time he spends traveling. Fortunately, this means that his other inputs are very likely to end up in the middle or variable. Turned out that the first two were decent as it was, so I really only have to think about how to make the next two do the same thing. So within the Psycho Knuckle, basically we hid a jump and a forward dash. The reason for this was just to make sure that he had something for when that input didn't come out. Quite a chance that he would be just standing there. Even though Ed is basically good at keeping you away from him in certain phasings, it's not so easy when he's just throwing out buttons if he happened to go into doing nothing at all afterwards. So that's where we hid the main jump attack that he has.